Around here, we believe in the power of YouTube ads to not only get views and impressions, but to actually grow your business. And that requires generating leads or applications or sales for your business. In this video, I want to break down how you can use YouTube ads to get more higher quality leads at a lower cost. I hear people all the time say, YouTube ads don't work, or they didn't work for me. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, they're working for us and they're working for our clients. What's the difference between our experience and their experience? And I believe it comes down to the strategy and the optimization process. So again, I want to dive deep into this to help you avoid those problems that they're having, and so you can get a better quality YouTube ad campaign that will actually grow your business. The first thing to be aware of is the ad strategy. When I talk about a video strategy, there's like 4 buckets that comes down to it, right? It's the right video. How can we create the right message that attracts the audience? How can we target the right audience? How can we time it so that that happens at the right time? And then how can we give them a valuable offer? If we can create the right video and put it in front of the right audience at the right time and give them a valuable offer, we're gonna get great results. Meaning we're gonna get a positive return on ad spend where we can spend $1 on ads and get $3 in sales, right? So if your YouTube ad campaign is not working, it's probably one of those 4 reasons. It could be the wrong video, it could be the wrong audience, it could be at the wrong time, and it could be the wrong offer. So again, if it's not working, take a look at one of those 4 buckets and see which one it is. Which brings us to step number 2, is you need to identify those metrics. Like, how do you know what metrics you should be looking at? It's kind of like on the health side, like, do you have a heartbeat? What's your blood pressure? These are metrics that kind of keep you in check so you can kind of know at a baseline level how healthy you're doing, whether it's your weight or your body fat percentage, right? So just like with the health metrics, you've got your marketing metrics. So when it comes to advertising, I think the king metric is ROAS, right? What's the return on ad spend? Can we make more money than we're spending on ads? So that's like the big main metric. And within that, you can break it down. So some of the core metrics that you should be aware of is, the first one is your view rate. This is how many impressions turn into views. Basically, how many people go from watching 5 seconds of your ad to watching 30 seconds of your ad, right? And this is a good indicator to how well you're grabbing people's attention, how engaging the video is, and also how spot on your targeting is, right? After the view rate, the other metric we track is the click-through rate. Are people watching the video and then are they clicking on it and going to the website or the landing page, right? So click-through rate is another core metric you should be measuring. After that, I'm curious to know what the conversion rate is, right? How many clicks turn into conversions, or basically how many clicks turn into leads, right? You want to make sure that that landing page that has like a great headline, it has a good value add, it talks about the benefits of the opt-in or the download or whatever it is you're trying to increase, and making sure the conversion rates are going well. Outside of that, I want to know, like, what's my cost per customer or cost per acquisition, right? Are the leads turning into customers? Are they turning into clients? And again, all these metrics lay out the journey, right? You can track the video, you can track the audience, you can track the offer, you can track if they're purchasing. So again, you want to identify those core metrics in your business all the way from video view to purchase, and make sure that you track those 3 to 5 metrics consistently. Which brings us to point number 3, is you want to look at these data trends over time. So sometimes I have people say, hey, I'm getting a 5% click-through rate, or hey, I'm getting a $10 cost per lead. Is that good or bad? And it's like, well, it depends. Like, what is it trending towards? So like, just because you have one snapshot in time, like your click-through rate at one time is 1%, or your cost per lead is $10, it doesn't really tell you anything. But if you say, hey, I was getting a $10 cost per lead last week, but now I'm getting a $30 cost per lead this week. Obviously something's off, right? Or it's getting more expensive to advertise. So that at least tells you a story. Or you could say, hey, I was getting a $20 cost per application, and now I'm getting a $5 cost per application. Hey, that's trending in the right direction. That's looking really good, right? So just pick those 5 metrics that you want to measure and make sure that you measure them on a weekly basis. And that's going to show you how the campaigns are performing over time. Now, just a little note, once you launch a campaign, it does take time to optimize. So when you launch a campaign, chances are you'll have a high cost per lead, you'll have a high cost per buyer. But the longer you run and the more you can optimize and improve the messaging or the audience, though the cost per lead or the cost per conversion will drop over time, or at least it should be, right? You want to be getting better and better. And then eventually you've got the benchmarks where there's stable trends that you can predict over time. So just a specific example, if we have a business that's wanting to generate applications for a coaching business, we launch the ads. The cost per application might be $150 or $200 the first week, which again, we're learning which audiences, which messages are resonating. And then the next week that drops from 150 down to 120. Cool. A couple more changes. The next week that drops from 120 to 100. So eventually it gets to a point where you're getting just consistent trends and consistent data, and it's doing its job, right? You want to watch out for those outliers. Which brings us to point number 4, is you want to pull the right lever. So once you got your strategy, you know what your core metrics are, and you've been tracking that over time, and now based off what the data is telling you, you can know which lever to pull. So for example, let's say you're getting a ton of views. You're advertising this, you get tons of views, it's a high view rate, but it's a low click-through rate, meaning not many people are clicking. Well, you may need to look at the video, and it's a signal that your video may not be engaging. Maybe your call to action isn't strong enough for your audience, right? So that's an opportunity for you based off the data to say, hey, we need to improve the video. Let's add a stronger call to action. Or maybe you get tons of views and tons of clicks, but people go to your landing page and there's a low conversion rate. Well, that's a signal saying, hey, you got a great video, a great audience, but maybe the offer is not that enticing. Maybe you need to have a stronger headline or more testimonials on the landing page of the offer, right? So again, look at the data, and based off what the data is telling you, you can know which one to pull. And that leads us to point number 5 in the optimization process, is you're always learning, right? So with our own campaigns and our clients' campaigns, we're always testing, we're always optimizing, and we're always learning, right? So just because I think there's a misunderstanding in the marketing world where it's like, oh yeah, you can launch a campaign, you never have to touch it, and you're done, and it just does its job. And I would agree that can work for a couple weeks at best, but things are always changing. Like the only thing constant in this world is change, right? So if we're not constantly learning and constantly trying to improve our results and adjust to the changes in the marketplace and to the algorithms and to the changes, like we're gonna be left behind. So just if you could approach this whole mindset like, hey, what am I learning this week? What can I do to improve it? What can I test to maybe improve the results? So it's really important to have that mindset that's always learning, that's always trying to improve. So if you know these 5 things, again, if you have the right strategy in place, meaning the video, the audience, the offer, the timing, that's important. Once you have that, what are the core metrics between views, clicks, and conversions? Then you can look at the data over time and making sure that it's either trending up or trending down, or maybe it's staying the same. That way you know what lever to pull to get better results. Maybe you need to improve the video. Maybe you need to improve your targeting. Maybe you need to change up your offer or your messaging. So like those are different levers that you can pull to improve it, and you're always learning. So again, that's been our experience. I'm curious, what has helped you optimize your ads? Is there anything I'm missing? Because I know there's a lot of people who are running ads. I'd love to learn from you. Please drop a comment below in this video. If you want to get some more perspective and kind of dive deeper on this subject, I do have another video where we dive deeper into the optimization process around a YouTube ad campaign. You can watch that video here. I hope this has been valuable. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button on YouTube so you can watch more of our amazing videos. And if you haven't already, have a wonderful day.